Other work that he would do as an illustrator would be kind of as a freelance to illustrate articles that other folks had written. And in 1889, he illustrated an article that was written in the Cosmopolitan, same Cosmopolitan that you might find at the checkout counter today, about a Chinese empress, Wu Qingqian. And so Mr. Beard, of course, had never been to China, but he was writing about this celestial empress and had to have a pretty good imagination to write, to draw fancy diagrams and pictures and illustrate the life of a Chinese empress. And he did that remarkably well, and so here we have an illustration in that book, which, in that, magazine, which caught the eye of a certain Samuel Clemens, also known as Mark Twain. And so this April 1889 edition of the Cosmopolitan was something that Twain saw and said, well, this guy has the imagination to illustrate this new book that I just wrote called Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. So he contacted Beard and said, please read my book and see whether or not you can come up with some illustrations for it. Well, we're fortunate enough to have the original illustration shown here, again, signed here by Dan Beard in '89 with his little emblem of the original illustration that was then printed in not nearly so much detail in the Cosmopolitan magazine. Well, so Beard then got Mark Twain's book and was kind of excited about it. And during the summer of 1889, Beard wrote that he cranked out 400 illustrations. More than 200 or so were actually used and put into Mark Twain's book. And Mark Twain would later say that Dan Beard's illustrations were better than the book and had glowing things to say about Dan Beard's abilities. Twain was so enthusiastic about Beard, he actually wrote that Mark Twain was delighted with the result as is established from the following letter. Hold me under everlasting obligations. What luck it was to find you, speaking of Beard. There are 100 artists who could have illustrated any book of mine, but there was only one who could illustrate this one. Yes, it was a fortunate hour that I went netting for lightning bugs and caught a meteor. Live forever. One that I find particularly fun for the younger set is this one that is a picture of a kind of cocky guy in chainmail, and we like to have the scouts read the caption on it, because where it says, this guy who's standing here like that, he says, "Ye Iron Dude," and we think that that's more contemporary than the kind of the old grizzled, old codger image that one usually has of Dan Beard. Because remember, Dan Beard was 60 years old when he founded Boy Scouts. He was a young kid when he lived here, and he was a young man when he was writing these things for Mark Twain. Dan